you asked me about my relaxation, and I do like to watch movies, but if I watch a movie, it doesn't have to be early evening. It could be 2 in the morning. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a night owl. I used to be a movie buff, but lately don't really have much stamina with watching movies. Not like I used to. It's
Yeah.
like, but at times I watch Netflix. You know, the usual series, HBO Go, Amazon Prime. It's an amazing selection of movies and series. And sometimes I revert back to classic films, timeless films. Yeah.
Not quite the black and whites, but
Some black and whites
Yeah.
I appreciate, like 12 Angry Men, all these classics. You know,
really,
Casablanca, but it's been a while.
Casablanca.
Or Streetcar Named Desire, all those old flicks.
Is that the one
Or
where
the Sean Connery James Bond films of the 60s, you know,
Yeah,
Dr. No, Goldfinger,
Yeah.
all of that. I used to watch those a lot as a kid. I was odd as a kid because I watched really classic films, and my classmates, most of them couldn't relate. Even old songs like Sinatra and Bee Gees, you know, Beatles, Everly Brothers, you know.
how about the Rolling Stones?
A bit, but not so much. I might look into their music again
Yeah.
or check out their music.
So the Beatles, a Liverpool group.
Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar given you're from England.
I've
so-
actually been to the cabin where they initiated
Oh,
their fame. Yeah.
You have a
Um,
favorite Beatle? Is it, of course, John Lennon or Paul?
I often thought Lennon was very vital in songwriting. Maybe
He was the brain, right? Or
it was. It's easy to say he did they called it the gaps. If they would complete a sentence from Paul McCartney, and he would say, "No, Paul, it needs to end like this." I think between them they were obviously very gifted. But yeah, I mean, I was a big Beatle fan. One of my favorites, I Should Have Known Better, With a Girl Like You.
Mhm.
But that was the early days.
The earlier ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Hey Jude, you know, the
Hey
the
Jude,
more common ones.
Classic.
Let It Be.
classic. Actually, you probably know the story with Hey Jude. Paul McCartney wrote Hey Jude, and it was released, and then he had all sorts of threats within the Liverpool area from the Jewish fraternity because they used the word Jude, and they said it sounds like Jewish and you're against us. And Paul, after many meetings,
Sounds like Jew.
yes,
Oh.
so it eventually turned around and it settled down and became a famous song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sing it on karaoke.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do?
Once in a while, karaoke is quite a thing here. So,
Oh boy.
but anyway, what about your childhood? What was it like growing up in England? It's very different from Filipino
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah, it was tough, very tough.
Strict
mum-
parents.
My father went missing in action in 1945. The ship was torpedoed, and he didn't survive because the war was still going on in 1945. And,
World War II just ended, right? That's when
Well,
Hitler
people
killed
tend to
himself.
think that history killed it in 1944, but it wasn't. It went to 1945. My mum then obviously had to bring me up, which was very difficult. She had 2 jobs, and I learned at a very early age. I think I was 8 years old how to cook to help her when she came back. But at that particular time, I've just been doing some research. I lived on an island called Canvey Island, which was the estuary of the Thames, and in February, if I got my dates right, 1953, 2 o'clock in the morning, Canvey Island was 25 feet below sea level. It had a big wall around it,
Yeah.
5 miles by 4, I think it was. Pretty small island. the wall started collapsing with the storm that came in from Holland. And I always remember my mum dragging me out through the kitchen window because the water was so high. It was panic stages, and then a rowing boat. We heard this rowing boat, and my mum got me into the rowing boat, and we came off the island, and we spent, I think it was about 8 weeks in a gym, in a school, on the floor, and the Red Cross got involved. So that was horrific. I still have a respect for water, big time, and yeah, you know, all kudos to my mum. She brought me up. It was tough. She always encouraged me to do the best I can, and no matter what job I had. Like I mentioned about the sweeping of the floor in the tailoring factory. Well, what can I say? Life turned around 360, and I'm here in the Philippines enjoying most of the time. Just a little frustrated when you want to buy a shirt and you haven't got my size, my chubby size, and you ask the salesperson, sorry sir, out. Don't know when it's coming back in.
No
the
size,
stock.
no stock.
No, the
usually.
stock is always smaller.
Smaller.
But actually that's probably a point here. The more the sizes of people coming in to work in this country, or in Cebu, in the Philippines, they're bigger. So you're seeing that you can get to 2x or 3x in size for a shirt. So it has changed a little. The food though here is great.
What cuisine do you usually? You like Filipino cuisine, or do you go for the Chinese restaurants?
I go for the mixture. I love Chinese. I love Filipino food.
Japanese.
Lechon.
How often do you eat lechon? Because you can.
Once a week. Only once a
limited.
week. Then we've got French. We've got I think it's a Turkish one. We've got obviously the Filipino restaurants, and then I'm missing the French. There's a great restaurant in Cebu. Greek. I like Greek food. Yeah.
Taverna.
Yes.
The one
yes.
near Maria Luisa.
Yeah. Yes. I was there just recently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? What kind of food do you like?
Everything. I'm a foodie actually. Well, Korean, Japanese, Filipino.
Yeah. Oh, my wife. She loves Japanese food.
Yeah, there are good Japanese places here.
Yeah.
What about Manila? Do you go there at times?
Manila?
Manila.
Oh, sorry. I've never been to Manila.
No?
we were supposed to go out just prior to the epidemic there.
Yeah. It's
And
massive there.
Never got the chance to go there.
But great food as well. And massive place. Much bigger than Cebu. But quite chaotic as well. And the people there move faster, but they're quite shrewd, so gotta be extra careful. So it's more cutthroat there.
Is it? Really?
Compared here.
Yeah.
People here are hospitable, nice.